Good morning, guys and gals, or good evening, or whatever time of day you're watching this. So short track is coming up, and I did just recover from the flu. I've still got a little stuff up in my chest. We all know what my brain does whenever something like that starts to happen before a race. Oh, you're still sick. You're gonna do terrible. Oh, you're still coughing? What are you still coughing for? Ooh, you're gonna do really, really bad on Sunday. Ooh, you're... So yeah, I'm just going to claim the flu is the reason why I didn't perform as well as I thought I was going to. I mean, I have been doing some training. You can still hear it a little bit. I've got like stuff here. I don't know if I need to just take some like Mucinex D or something like that. But anyway, my seat height was also way too high. Don't know how that happened, but it did. So I'm curious to see how much that affected last Sunday as well. I still had a lot of fun. I'm not making excuses. It's short track, it's a training series. So moving forward though, I'm hopefully gonna be better. No flu, and hopefully my seat height will be correct, and hopefully I will race a little smarter. I think I went about as dumb as I could. Every time I went into the woods, well, not every time, probably like 4 to 5 times out of the 9 or 10 laps that we did, I was stuck behind somebody that would leave gaps to the group that I was with. I don't think I ever actually worked with a group. I was in no man's land 90% of the time, riding my guts out, trying to catch a group of people that I should have just waited on someone so we can work together and we can all help each other. Let's just move on. We're gonna watch the sport guys go off first. A few of the other categories that were around that time. That's all that I was there for. And then we're gonna move on. I'm gonna do a little commentating on mine. Let's hop to it. Oh, and if you do enjoy this content, please just like and subscribe. I'm hopefully going to cover all of the races that I do this year.
Come on, Mustangs, let's go! Prospect. Sport me in. Guys ready? Go! 40 plus, sit tight. 40 plus, sit tight. 40 plus, guys. Back up, guys. 40 guys. Back up, please, please.
So whenever we lined up, I was 3rd row. That's not ideal, but it's not terrible. I didn't get the start that I wanted. I was maybe top 10 into the woods.
I would encourage all you juniors to stick around and watch these expert guys race. They put on a heck of a show, incredibly fast. The lap times are phenomenal how fast these guys can race around here. All right, expert man to the cones. Expert man, stop at the cones. Super Sport right behind you. Guys, this is a 1 hour race. We'll give you a time. throughout the race. So when you guys stop, make sure you don't stop in front of the expert guys. All right, guys, ready? Go! That's a good one, ladies.
And once I was in the woods, I really just wanted to try and settle in. And I knew with me being sick that my heart rate would be through the roof, and I was not wrong there.
Come on, Cameron. Come on.
So at this point in the race, I was with the second group on the road. It was, to my knowledge, only 4 to 5 of us. I'm not sure who this was, but they were leaving gaps to the first group in the woods. And when we get out onto the gravel, he was hitting it pretty hard. My fault for not riding harder and just getting around people. But that's what left the gap open. So my goal, once I realized this, was once we hit the gravel, I was going to pop out and at least try to be in front of him. Put a dig in right here. I wanted to try and see if the B line was any faster when people were in front of you. It is not, in my opinion. You can take the A line, and for me, if you have like halfway decent skills, the A line takes not a lot of effort. The B line, you at least have to burn a match to do the same pace. So I came around him here so I could be in the woods. As soon as I hit the woods, I picked it up. I knew with this being early in the race, I had to at least keep the pace high, solely if I wanted to have any chance of catching that lead group. Hindsight, I probably should have just waited on the group that was coming up behind me because it was 7 or 8 guys, and I could have just recovered on them. That would have been the smarter thing to do. Live and learn. So at this point, I was cussing myself because I had no idea that I had this giant group sitting on my wheel, and I was pedaling pretty hard coming up the gravel, thinking that I was by myself. That was not the case. It was a big group that was behind me.
We have 13 experts on the race.
So at this point, I knew that I didn't need to be last in line. I was going to try to follow Free Fly right there, but he got into the woods. I should have pushed it a little bit harder. There again, this is me watching a video. In the race, my heart rate was 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I was hacking up along. I really have no idea how my seat height got higher. I think I let someone borrow it, and then whenever I got it back, I thought I raised it to the correct height and it was too high. I don't know. That was weird. So now we are latched onto the back of this group. He did actually a very good job sitting on everyone's wheel this lap. I do think the group was going a little bit slower as well, but it's still in the end a little bobble there on the A line. And when you've got a group that big and someone's hammering it and they're all working together, I could not close that down. You know, now I wish I would have pedaled a little bit harder because they were just right there. So now we're back in the woods. This guy right here I thought was at the tail end of a group. He was just one that had been passed and popped off, so I was chasing for nothing. So at this point in the race, mentally, I was just resigned to not caring where I placed. I just wanted to settle down. I kept spiking myself when we hit this gravel, and every time I did, I turned around and people were on my wheel. So finally, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go use my skills in the woods, try and hammer it in the woods. Then we hit the gravel. I'm just going to be steady. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So I went to click my lockout, and look what happened.
The lockout broke. Stuck locked out.
I looked behind me a few times. I was in no man's land again. I pedaled in easy. I was happy. So for the first race of the season, it went, you know, for the beginning of the year that I had with getting the flu. Not feeling the best, seat height's too high, lockout breaking. I've got tons of excuses I can use, but I will not use them. I am happy with my performance. I got 15th out of 30, or 26, or we'll round up. I got 15th out of 30. I'm hoping by week 5, because there's 5 weeks of this stuff, I will be able to do top 10s with no problem. So the big races start in March. That's what I'm really shooting for. But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all in a few days, I think. Later.